Well, the Mustang has always had a strong racing history, and especially those powered by the 5-liter. Now, when Ford developed the 2015 Mustang, they knew that a large percentage of vehicle owners were actually going to spend some time racing them, and so did AIRAID. So we've developed a race-only cold air intake system that's designed to maximize airflow to the engine and can also support other engine modifications, such as cams, larger injectors, things of that nature. And we're going to replace this entire factory system with the AIRAID race version. Let's check it out. First, disconnect the negative battery cable. Then, lift the engine cover off of the engine. Remove the breathers from the intake tube. Then loosen the intake tube clamps. Unclip the mass air sensor, then remove the factory intake assembly. Okay, this is the factory resonator assembly. Now, its whole purpose in life is to basically pipe engine noises into the passenger compartment. Now, you can choose to keep this if you want to, but most race guys are going to want to remove it. Now, it's held by a couple of plastic clips along with a 6mm bolt that's way back here on the firewall and is kind of difficult to get to. Once you have that off, like we have, this whole thing comes out as an assembly. Now, this is the factory 2015 Mustang intake assembly. Now, other than a factory cold air inlet duct here, this thing really doesn't have a whole lot going for it. It's very restrictive, along with the paper filter element inside. Same goes for the intake tube. Obviously not designed to optimize airflow. So what AIRAID does is we replace these complicated components with a much simpler and more effective design. Now, these cold air dam panels snap in place of the original intake box. This weather stripping seals against the hood. We're using a hood like a lid for the airbox itself. Now, this intake tube has all the provisions for all the breathers and sensors and everything that you're going to need, but inside it is all about optimizing airflow to the engine. And of course, the system breathes through an oversized AIRAID filter. Now, before we can start installing parts, we do need to swap over the mass air sensor from the original intake to the new intake tube. Remove the mass air sensor from the factory airbox and transfer it to the intake tube and secure it using the supplied screws. Install the cold air dam panels and secure one end using the bolt from the original intake box. The other end attaches to a bolt on the upper radiator shroud. When installed correctly, the cold air dam panel is sandwiched between the radiator shroud and the radiator. Attach the coupler to the throttle body, the hump hose to the intake tube, and then install the intake tube in the car. Reconnect all the breathers, and then reconnect the mass air sensor. Now, the last step in the process is, of course, to install the air filter. Now, all of our race series intakes include an oiled track day filter. Now, this has a little bit different media in it than our regular AIRAID filters, and they're designed to maximize airflow. However, for this reason, we recommend that the race series intake and this air filter only be used in dry, controlled track conditions. Well, there you have it. AIRAID's race series intake is really pretty simple and straightforward. By using these cold air dam panels, we keep the filter isolated from hot engine compartment air, but by eliminating the air box, we've added all of this forward-facing area for the filter to draw in plenty of cool outside air. Now, because of this open area here, we really recommend that this intake only be used in dry, controlled track conditions. Now, while this intake will work with the factory tune, it's really designed to support other engine modifications, including a tune, cams, headers, pretty much anything you care to throw at the 5-liter Mustang. Well, thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you again at a track near you.